How you check the reading order of a content depends on what program you're using, whether you're looking at a website, a Word document, a PDF, or some other software. For websites, you can adjust your settings on your browser to only show the content by turning off CSS styling. So that's going to pull all of the CSS styling off of your text and images and just display it in the order that it will be read. So let's take a look at what our website would look like if we did that. So here's our website with no CSS styling being applied. So the images are quite large because there's nothing telling them to be smaller. They're displaying in their full size. So let's just go through here and make sure that we have everything in the correct reading order. So a reminder of what we're looking for. We want to make sure the items appear in the following order. First, we want to have it read our title, Kitty Treasures, and then the subtitle, Children's Resale Shop. Then we want it to show this clothing picture with the clothes and clothes to fit your ever-growing loved ones subtitles. And then the same for toys. Show the picture of toys, the toys text below it. The picture of the books with the books text below it. Then we'll want it to show the sales graphic with the header and the text. The items of the week with the headers, text, and images, and so on. So let's switch back and make sure it's going in that reading order. So we've got our title first, Kitty Treasures, and then the subtitle, Children's Resale Shop. That's correct. We've got our clothing image. Good, it does have the clothes subtitles right under it. Then it switches to the toys image with the toys text right under it. Switches to the books image with the books title text right under it. There's that sales image with the sale of the week heading and the information, and then following on to the items of the week, those subtitles, and the image. So far as everything is looking great, the reading order is exactly how we intended it. So we would just want to keep checking in this format to make sure everything was being displayed correctly. So when you're working in Word, the way you'll make sure that the reading order is always going to be correct is to make sure that any kind of images or extra text boxes that you've added are always set to appear in line with the text. So if we take a look at this image of the minerals next to the minerals text, and if I right click on it and look at the wrap text option, I see it set to square. So it could appear anywhere in the reading order. I want to switch that and make sure I place it in line with text. Then of course, if you need to adjust where that text appears, you can. I'm going to bump that text down one line so that it's not right up against the image. Then we're going to do the same thing with the second image. We're going to right click on it, click on wrap text, and make sure it's in line with text, and then adjust the image location as we'd want to. In this case, I'd want the image to appear above electrons. So in this case, I'm going to cut it and then paste it above that electrons text. In Acrobat PDF, the reading order is set by the order in which the tags appear. In order to see the tags, you'll click the tags icon on the left. And now we'll see we have different tags. We have our heading level 1, paragraph tags, figure tags, and so on. You can click on each of those tags, and just with your arrow key, you can hit down and see the order that these items are going to appear. It's going to highlight the item on the right-hand side as you're clicking down. In this example, you'll notice that it reads the heading first, and then the paragraph, and then the figure. But the figure visually is placed to the left of the paragraph, so I would want that to come first. So what I would do is I would click and select the figure tag and simply drag and drop it up to be above the paragraph tag. And now when I go through those, it reads the heading level 1 first, then the image, and then the paragraph. And you just continue on that way, working your way through all of the tags in the document.